The bottom line is love your wife. You've heard those words before. You've tried. You have really tried. But you often feel like she isn't doing her part. Isn't she supposed to respect you and follow your lead? Instead, she questions everything you do. The sweet girl you fell in love with has become your biggest critic. She gets hold of a topic and won't let it go. You hurt her the first time, so why does she keep repeating herself? So you just shut her out. Or maybe you get angry with her. In reality, neither approach changes her responses to you. Hello, I'm Dr. Debi, and I've been helping men, women, and couples grow together for more than 25 years. Now it's your turn to learn what I learned and taught as a couples counselor and university professor. You are the wise woman, and this is your personal development podcast packed with instant encouragement and practical tips. And men can learn about women too, because this is a safe place where women are valued and men are respected. We talk about biology, socialization, behavior, emotions, communication, and connection, because men and women are different. Always have been, always will be, and that's a very good thing. You've sometimes wondered if counseling might be helpful, but you anticipate the possibility of being bombarded by two women at the same time. Who wants to buy that nightmare? Maybe you could try a male counselor. Would he be on your side? Any way you look at it, when you avoid marital challenges, you're playing the victim in your own story. You're powerless unless she wakes up and changes her behavior. Never mind the fact that she doesn't even know how much she's hurting you. But if you switch over and you become aggressive, then you're playing the villain in your own story. Or worse yet, you become the victim of your own anger, living in shame and doubt, and powerless to do anything about it. Your anger does have a place, but this is not that place. Because a hero gets angry too, and he channels that energy into self-discipline, which, by the way, is all about seeking wisdom, learning new skills and putting them into action at the right time in the right way. So, wouldn't it be great to be the hero in your own story? The guy who doesn't know everything but still willing to learn, and he practices the skills he needs to be the powerful man God created him to be. That's you? I thought so. So let's start by taking a look at what your wife actually needs and wants from you. She's really not as complicated as she seems, and you're only going to have to remember 3 things. Number 1, she wants to know you're thinking about her in everything you do. A woman has absolutely no problem following a man who is mindful of the woman she is and cares about her experience of him. A hero is proactive in this endeavor. Here's how you do it. First, let her know your plans. You've heard that saying about it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. Well, I'm not telling you to ask her for permission. I want you to ask for her input before she has a chance to offer it. Then let her know you value her input, whether or not you agree with it. Tell her you'll think about what she said and you're going to keep her in the loop. Then actually consider her thoughts. If she brought up something you hadn't considered, do some research. God gave her to you for a reason. Then update her on your decision-making process. You are choosing to include her. Think of yourself as the CEO and your wife as the COO. You're the chief executive officer and she's the chief operating officer. You're on the same team, looking at the plan from a different perspective. Finally, yes, the buck stops with you. As the leader, you will be held responsible for your choices. So make sure you've done all you can to include your wife in the process. Okay, so here's an example. I'm thinking about buying a new truck because, and tell her why. And then say, do you have any thoughts about that? Then listen. Play back what she said. Ask questions for clarification if you need to. You'll know when she feels like she's been heard because any tension between you will be minimal or absent altogether. You're sensitive to her, so you'll know. Then you want to say to her, "Thanks for your input. I'm going to give it some more thought, and I'll keep you in the loop." Then let her know what you've decided to do before you actually do it. If she was opposed to the idea, you might want to have another discussion before you buy that truck. You want her to be on your team. Yes, sometimes you will need to override her vote, but she will probably be far less resistant if she knows you have seriously considered her input. Just remember, she might be right about this one. You won't know for sure until after you've bought the truck. Now, you're probably thinking she's just going to insist on getting her way. Remember, I have an inside track in this, so I've got the map. As you get better and better at incorporating her feedback in the decision-making process, you'll have a deeper connection with her, which means fewer arguments. Test this out for the next couple of weeks. Experiment. That means put it into action. Start with the smaller decisions first, like where to go for dinner or whether or not to have your parents over. Then, after you've experimented a little bit, let me know how it goes. Thank you for listening to this episode of A Wise Woman's Guide to Men and Marriage. What did you think? Did the information raise more questions? Do you want to learn more? Head over to A Wise Woman's Guide for show notes and links to the resources mentioned in this episode at awisewomansguide.com.